So when I first got this table saw, I built a zero clearance insert, and I didn't make a video of it. And I had a request to make one for somebody who has the same table saw, but also needed to make me a new one because back here, my back, I broke it a few times. And this one here, you can kind of see it, this one was not done on a CNC machine. I did it all by hand, just took the original insert and just laid it out on a piece of wood and then traced the outline of it, cut it down to the size, sanded it till it fits, and then took it to the drill press with the Forster bit, cut out some holes for these different notches that are points here that need to be recessed a little bit further down, and then I put a piece of metal here with the metal clip at the back. So I designed this next one on the CNC machine so that I could just repeat as I need to make more or if somebody wants some. So here's the new one here. This one here I did all on the CNC machine. And instead of the metal clip on the back, I did a piece of wood on this one instead. And then also on the front, I did a magnet instead of a piece of metal. So, and then engraved my logo in there. So just fit down in like so. Insert plate all designed here. You can kind of see this is kind of trial by error. Just, you know, start off with the rough dimensions and then cut one out of some MDF, give it a try, and then back and forth. And this is the final design here. And then this is the 3D final cut. What it'll look like with all the notches. The finger hole here, the notches for the blade. This little center cut here is for the start of the blade, because the blade sticks up just a little bit into the insert once you put this down. And in the back here and in the front, we'll have a magnet at this point right in here. I didn't drill the magnet hole through the V-carve. I'm just going to do it once we get it canned. I could add that, I guess, but we'll just drill that once we get it marked out. So we'll take this to the CNC machine and get it all cut out. All right, we got our file here all loaded up in our G-code sender for the insert. So we're about to start cutting this out here. All right, we got it all cut out in CNC. I just started off with 3/4 piece. It's going to end up 1/2 inch. So I'm going to, you can kind of see I already started, forgot to start the video, but I'm going to take off this top part here, have to keep from having to plane or sand down as much. So we're going to take this down a little over half. All right, now we're going to just go ahead and sand her down. So I just took the router bit, and again, I forgot to start the video, but I don't know if you can see it right there. I just barely took a little on this piece that should have been smooth. Just barely took a little bit off each side right there. Just because in the casting, it kind of rolls out a little bit. So we took that down. Next thing is we're just going to drill our spot right here. I marked it. Let me go show you how I marked that right there. All right, so to get your magnet marker on the front, there's a little, on the Grizzlies, there's a magnet up front. So I just take some black Sharpie, put it on there, put my insert in. Give it a couple taps, and then it'll mark it for you. That's how you get your magnet mark on the front. Now these Grizzlies does have these 4, if you notice right here, there's 4 screws right here. And in their normal metal plate that comes with it, you notice that there's holes right there where those plates are at. What them are for is you can take an Allen wrench and adjust it so that right now I have them all the way down and there's a little bit of a little low. So those you can actually fine tune and adjust this perfectly, okay? I'm not gonna put these on here because I got it where I've got this one pretty much finished, and I'm gonna leave it, might take it down just a little bit more, but I'm gonna leave it a little high and let the customer, whoever the guy making this actually for, let him do the fine tuning on it if he needs to, a little more sanding. I'll try to get it pretty smooth. He's got the same saw, but tolerance wise, I assume it's exactly the same. So I'm gonna try to get it pretty close for him, but leave it just maybe a little high, let him sand it down the rest of the way. So next thing we do, we're gonna cut that little hole right there for the magnet. Get it down deep enough to where, that's a pretty good guess, it's flush right there. All right, so I'm just gonna barely start cutting this groove. I don't cut all the way through again. Like I said, it's not for my table saw, it's for somebody else's. So if I just want to kind of get started, that's what this notch in here is for. On your 10-inch saw, you see my little, I don't know if you can see it in there, but you see my little black dot in there? That's where my saw was still hitting all the way down. Again, you can change your blade out, just a smaller blade, if you don't want to cut that groove. So we're going to cut this the way, whenever someone gets one of these, you're making one, what you want to do is slide your fence over like so. That'll hold this down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slide our fence over here, and we want to make sure that we're not going to be coming up through our fence. So we're just going to put that there. I'll put this little mark here. You can put a stop or whatever you want to. We're just going to put this mark there. Crank our saw all the way down. Okay. Put our insert in. And then you want to slide that back over to that mark. And what this does, this holds the plate down to when you're pulling your saw up through there. Okay. So the next thing you do is you start your saw. And you just start slowly cranking it up. Here, cutting ready. Okay, so you can see there, we got the cut started for them. So here's one here that's already done. The only thing I like is I'm gonna put a back clip on here. So again, after you come all the way up through, you're just gonna keep cutting. Be cautious when you're doing this, using your dust collection, because you can create some, by cutting like that. The other day when I was cutting this one, I did create some pretty good heat off the burn marks. I could sit here and smell it, and if I suck that up in my dust collection, that might have started a fire in my dust collection. So anyway, you want to crank it all the way up through until you stop, until you're, whatever height you want to cut it. Then if you're going to use your riving knife, like I do, I like the riving knife. I like to use it. So once we cut all the way up through, then we have to take and cut this out, and just jigsaw, handsaw, whatever you got. And then this is where a riving knife will go through. Okay. So. All right, so on the back of these, they have this little clip here, clip in, keep the back up from raising up. So what we come up with on the ones we're working on is that I just cut me in a 0.18 deep dado in here. Glued me a piece of maple in here. This piece of maple, I just did mine, actually just a little over 1/2 inch, about 3/8 or 5/8, I'm sorry, by about 3/8 thick. Left it hanging over the edge here. Just glued it in, and this is be the part that clips back here at the back. Okay, so we'll kind of sand this down, kind of make a little ramp out of it, flush it, just make it a little prettier, and then we'll be done with it. Just using a little thick CA glue. Set a nut. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that video, and you might be asking why you might need a zero clearance insert instead of the larger ones, like so. Most of them come with this larger slot here like this, and one thing that's bad here, especially with the dust collection, the way this one's built, is all your little cutoffs. If you're cutting off real thin strips, they'll fall down inside here and then get lodged up in your dust control. So that's what's nice about having the zero clearance insert that you make. And they do sell these online too. You can make your own. So they do now actually sell them that you can buy through using whatever table saw company you're going with. So appreciate you guys again watching. Y'all have a good one.